Jim Harbaugh was peacocking yesterday. I was so happy with his
That's what he does.
giant, stupid quarterback with his inability to be brought down.
Don't rip him. You could have had him.
They could have had him, and then he was at Michigan, so it was a little bit of a weird conflict.
I'm talking about the big quarterback that you were talking about.
Oh, who's ripping him? I said he's because he's stupidly big and can't be brought down by anybody. How's that ripping him?
You call him stupid, but
yeah. I mean, he doesn't look like the brightest bulb in the show. Neither does our quarterback, by the way. Guy sits here. He's like he thinks the podium has become his therapy couch.
You do have to admit that, Leroy. Tobin's right with that.
What?
Tobin said two things that one, the peacocking and the fat cat with some of these players, and second, he said there's been a strife in the relationship between Tua and Mike McDaniel from the beginning of the season.
I don't necessarily think that.
I think he's right.
I think that when you're losing, we read far too much into the comments. Now, I will say this. There's been a couple of things that if you can't clarify them, you just don't say.
Mm-hmm.
Like the meetings, everybody just assumed it was like a players only meeting or whatever. And those meetings happen all the time. And you don't talk about any of that stuff unless you're 1-5. And I would expect, here's what I would expect. I would expect the quarterback, who is the leader of your team, to not put anything out there that could be deemed the way it is because you're losing, right? And because guess what? If they're 5-1, the same things could be happening. We ain't talking about culture and this stuff.
Right. 100%.
And that's the part that I'm discouraged about, because if there's anybody who should keep it moving and stay positive and keep working and toe the line or anything, it needs to be the quarterback, because that's who we're listening to the most. So if you're putting stuff out there that requires either one, an explanation, or two, is not very clear on what you're saying, right? So, for example, as much as I know that, and I believe when Tua talks about leaders, he's talking about himself, then he makes the other comment about the meetings, it gets confusing.
And that's the thing with him, and that's why I don't subscribe to, oh, you guys didn't hear earlier in the press conference when he took accountability. It's like, well, dude, I'm sorry, but people got their lives to live. Like you're not, if you don't think that in the world we live in, where we're in a chopped up, clipped up, Instagrammed up society, if you're not aware that the shortest amount of words can carry the biggest amount of weight in this day and age, as an athlete in this generation, well, that's ignorant on you, because nobody talks more than you do.
Agreed.
And this has been a thing that has happened all year long. There's been an extra thing. And you're just like, why did he have to bring that up? And I get it. Tua spent the entirety of his first two careers taking a lot of arrows, taking a lot of the hits. And I do think that there's a little bit of defiance that he's like, I'm not taking this anymore. That's fine. But there are also, you gotta have a better handle on, is this going to be a thing or is this not going to be a thing? And when we hear even from him where he goes, well, I don't really hear anything because I just go home. It's like, well, guess what, dude? Your teammates do. And the rest of the NFL universe does. You're getting ripped by Hall of Famers, all pros, analysts. It becomes a thing for your franchise here. And if you don't know that the gravity of your words are going to carry a little bit of extra weight because of who you are for the franchise, well, that's just pure ignorance. I don't know what to tell you. That's a dumb position to be in. So that's what I find bothersome. Forget about the fact that the Dolphins already seem to have just an unbelievably unprofessional organization as it is. Like, the fact that we're talking about this stuff last year was already a thing, and now we're still talking about it. You guys don't have the respect at 1-5. You guys don't have the respect among yourselves to put in that extra work. I mean, geez, Louise, that's just it's such a bad look.
Here's what I would say. Here's what I would say. That those comments are 1 in 5 comments, not 5 in 1 comments. And the reason why I say that is the same things could be going on, like if you meet every Thursday at 5 o'clock after practice to go over some stuff and you're 5 and 1 and the same exact things are happening. It is not anything to do with culture. And that's the problem.
But it's
where in his efforts.
Can I give you an example on something? Bam Adebayo, okay? Bam Adebayo went to practice on Friday, flew across the country to go watch his lady win a championship. He's got enough cachet and status. He probably could have just said, I'll be back when I'm back. But guess whose ass was at practice the next morning and doing media? Bam. Because he's a professional.
Yeah,
but it doesn't matter what. It doesn't matter what. And by the way, his team's not good now. He's been that way when they were good. He's been that way when they're bad. That's just how he is.
But
that's how he carries himself.
Basketball is a little bit different, but it also has to do with who Bam is. So let's in the way and keep in mind
on the team though, Leroy.
But it's different situations. Their careers have taken a different path.
It's just professionalism, though, Leroy. That's what it is.
Okay.
Like, what does it have to do with status or anything?
It doesn't. But different people who come through the system or whatever system they come through in different situations, it almost seemed like the day that Bam got to Miami, he was groomed for this spot. We heard from Zoe, we heard from everybody in that organization that this was going to be his team and he was being groomed for it with the people around him. Okay? So he handles himself accordingly. That's not necessarily the case in football. I won't just say on this team. It's a little bit different. And so from that standpoint, he can do things differently. He can. But a lot of this stuff you're hearing from everybody, including us, including all the talking heads, is 1 in 5. And that's how comments are around 1 in 5.
Yeah,
and you can say it's professionalism or not. It's 1 in 5.
I understand that, but that's the thing is like when you're 1 in 5, everybody else in the locker room knows we're good. Captain's got us. No comment. Quick on it. He just wants to keep going. And whether that's and I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's just because we know Tua's very honest. But this didn't feel like honesty. This kind of felt like, let me also tell you what's going on here to kind of get the stink off of me, turning the ball over left and right.
So and here's the other thing we do. All right. We just look at the mistakes and not put them in the context. He had one.
Has he had a good year?
No, okay, but we're
I'm not talking. I know. Yes, one interception didn't matter because the end of the game, and the other one was in Waddle's hands. By the way, the other one was probably at the most critical point of the game, where he swung the momentum of the game to the Chargers. So he had a pick 3. And he almost got picked off again. Do we get to talk about that?
Yeah.
Okay. I know. But the pick that he had, very critical. So let's talk about meetings. What's up, Mo Skrilla?
Here we go again. Hey, good morning, gentlemen.
Hello.
Good morning.
I've been a Dolphins fan for a long time. The Orange Bowl. They put Joe Robbie in my city, Carol City, and the Marlins and the Panthers came. everybody don't came behind the Dolphins and don't won a chip. You know, it started to get real frustrating. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna blame the players no more. I'm through with that. You know, Tua probably got about 10 interceptions already, but I don't know. Leadership, the owner, you know, Stephen Ross. You did good with everything around the stadium. Yes, we love everything around the stadium. But it's time for you to sell the Dolphins. Sell. Call the main man.
You want him to call the main man?
Anthony Caliendo?
Yeah, the main man.
To flip
commercial.
To flip the business, or do you want the main man to buy the Dolphins?
I mean, he can flip the business.
Hey, if Stephen Ross wanted to sell the team, you ain't got to worry about getting help.
Yes. But I know one thing I don't want to say. I know Leo don't want to hear this, but it's time to tank for Mendoza. Tank for Mendoza. Get Tua out of there, and let's tank for Mendoza, man. Indiana quarterback. He's a hometown guy from Columbus High School, wherever he's from. But he's doing great. Let's just move on, man. Get everybody out of there and just move on, man. Let's just start all over and just break it on down and start all over, man. I'm through with it.
All right. See you, Mo Skrilla.
I would say
was a good job by Indiana this week, though, in the Colonial Bowl.
Oh, goodness. I would say that changing ownership is not going to matter unless Stephen Ross comes out and says, as long as I'm the owner, Chris Greer is going to be here.
Oof.
See what I'm saying? Then you can have, but at some point, even an owner who has been an excellent businessman throughout his career, even he walks into a room and looks at what's going on and has to say, what the hell are we doing?
I definitely think that last year, because he didn't open up the purse strings as much this year, like didn't restructure as many contracts. I definitely think that he put them in a, hey, I paid you guys already. Like, go figure it out this year. I think even he had to come into this year.
So and if you think about that, is getting to that point. Now, I would say this about Chris Greer. If he had just kept everybody he drafted, this team would be better.
He's always reacting, though. He doesn't have any foresight.
Right, but that's my point. That's my point, that he is the only GM in a long time that I have seen to actually draft decent players and then can't afford them. So when we go to your draft record and see who's on the team, nobody's on the damn team, right? You've given away so many first rounders for guys who are either not playing or not playing as well as the first round guy you could have drafted.
Right.
And here's the kicker. In all championship teams or contenders, you have probably 4 or 5 guys who are young that are playing for cheap. You can't afford to pay every single position. You got to be able to draft and have cheap labor. And the fact of the matter is, he tried to go out and buy all of the labor to the point where he couldn't afford his cheap labor. So it's been building. And I think that if Stephen Ross were to look back and see the path that they've taken, and now you're forced to play guys who may not be ready to play.
Mm-hmm.
That is a bad job. However you want to put it, it's a bad job, because this could have been done 2 years ago. When you say, no, we're going to build through the draft. No, we got to go a different route. But you waited until it was absolutely a dumpster fire to come to the conclusion we can't keep going and giving up draft picks for free agents. It's too late.
That Jonah's taking a beating.
Oh, dude, Look,
Oof.
there is, you know what the worst feeling for a quarterback is? When you look left and see 4 eyes staring at you, the defender and the guy who's supposed to block him, right? Like there's an old crap moment right there. And I'm telling you that it is, I mean, to the point where we don't even talk about Patrick Paul because
Yeah.
holy smokes.
That sack was bad.
Yeah, it was.
It looked like they were maybe, was it a Simone greeting? And then he forgot that there was a snap. And then he was like, oh, because he got beat. Like by the time he
So
turned
fast.
around, two was already on the ground.
Pretty wild, man. Let's go to Sean. Hello, Sean.
Hey, what's up, fellas?
What's going on?
Hey, I'm going to tell you something real quick here. You know, Tua, not only can he not read coverages, he can't read a room, and he's a snitch. Okay, this reminds me of when Kobe Bryant outed Shaquille O'Neal. Maybe I should have just paid off the girls. But anyway, you know, does he think he's going to get any respect from any team or teammate that comes to join that team? I wouldn't want to play for him. Okay. I thought it was about McDaniel, but I'm beginning to see that I'm really thinking it's Tua. And we're handicapped by his ability.
I appreciate you, Sean. I think that reading the room would help. I did see some of that. Like there's a lot of like Des Bryant's come out, LaShawn McCoy's come out and said they're not going to respect you for this. Kurt Warner was like, you're telling on yourself in this case. You should be, no deflecting of blame. Yeah, he's not getting a lot of grace with these comments.
Right.
It is but look, I agree with you, Leroy. The loss and the losses piling up make this all worse. That's why you need him in that position to not give any other meat to the piranhas, dude.
No, I listen.
Unless we're walking, of course, into a Las Vegas aquarium. Then
here's what I would say. There is no excuse for some of the explanations and how he's going about it, because the fact of the matter is 1-5 sucks, and you're tired of looking for answers when we already know what the damn answers are, right? There's nothing worse than you got to talk about other stuff because you don't want to put the real reasons out there that everybody is fully aware of and knows. And so you sometimes get yourself in a little trouble because you're trying to be so honest. All that being said, I would say the reason why they're 1-5 is not because of Tua. He plays his part, right? So I'm not excluding him from it. But there are so many other things going on, including having the single-handed worst defense I've seen in a number of years.
It's really bad.
Teams running for 200 against you every week. Now, if I just use those stats and put them on any other team, no other team's winning games.
Mm.
And so while we're sitting here commenting on what Tua said and he's not being professional and all that can be fine, that's not the reasons why they ain't winning on Sunday.
I mean, it's not. It's also not like, that's why I say like it reflects on the whole team being bad. Like, I don't think this is a team that deserves a blame pie chart, because I think that there have been enough scenarios for all of them. Yes, I would say if you wanted to give 75%, give 75 to the defense, whatever. But in the times that they have shown up, the offense hasn't either. In the times the special teams has had a good play, then the special teams botches something else. The coaching decisions have been bad. Like this isn't something where you could really go, except for Devon Achane. Devon Achane's the only guy I'm giving a pass to the rest of the year. Like he's the only guy who I'm like, very rarely this guy is doing anything other than just carrying everybody's ass all over the place. But Waddle's had drops. That was a terrible job by Waddle to start the game.
Right
in your damn hands. You a wide receiver one or what? Like what's the deal, dude?
The problem is when you're a bad team, all of the mistakes always seem to be amplified.
Yeah.
From little to big to whatever. And that's also part of the problem, right? And like it, like yeah, it's frustrating. It's frustrating to me to know that, like, if I get 10 other guys in that position that JP was in,
Oh my God.
7 of them make the sack because they go at it with a different physicality than he went at it. Like, he went in there trying to get him on the ground.
Seriously.
Worry about everything else, right? The fact that he could have 3 or 4 grown ass men hanging from him and still throw a ball away to stop the clock and throw it in the direction of, like, come on, man. Like that, you want to talk about not professional? What y'all trying to do? Lay him on the ground? Give him a pillow and a binky?
Trying to swaddle
Get
him.
his ass on the ground.
Leroy, can you give us a weather update, please, over at the Windowplex?
Oh, yeah.
Brought to us by Chill Zone AC, featuring reliably root AC systems. Make your AC great again. Visit chillzoneac.com.
It's getting about that time where the weather, it was 70 Sunday morning. What a glorious day. Sunny, not too much humidity. Oh, it was glorious. And now, after another cool morning, and I see a little bitty cloud, essence of cloud. Winds are very light. I can't tell which way they're moving because nothing is, looks like it's coming out of the north, maybe northeast, hardly blowing. And I would say right now it's just above 80 degrees, but looks like it's going to be a pretty lovely day. I'm not going to forecast any rain, only due to the fact that the humidity has been relatively low and the clouds probably won't build up as much as they have in the evening, although it did rain last night.
It's good.
He is good.
81 degrees.
Mhm.
The low will be 73. The humidity is at 73%.
Wow.
Yeah.
You watched that Jets game yesterday, Vlad?
You can
Of
tell.
course, I had to watch that nastiness in the morning and then go to more nastiness. It wasn't a good morning yesterday. I tell you
Not
that.
so
Hey,
good. That's not good
Your
football.
stretch from about 9 in the morning
Till 4 p.m.
till about 4 p.m. was just,
Oh.
well, look, I had yesterday to throw in there too.
With the Browns.
With
Did,
the
how
Browns,
Aaron Rodgers look?
Michigan.
Oh, man, you had a nasty 24 hours.
That's
then.
what I'm saying.
Yeah, because the Michigan.
My whole weekend.
Yeah.
Listen, this is what I did. So I got done golfing, and I knew it was going to be a bad day because normally I put my golf shoes on in my garage, right? Then take my slides and throw them in the back. Forgot to throw my slides in the back. So now I'm in socks. I go to Delaware Chicken, get me, some thighs and some shrimp, for the week. Then I say, you know what? I'm going to enjoy it today, right? I went to Miller's Ale House, got me some wings. Oh, it was beautiful. I was ready to go.
Glorious
Got
day.
my setup. Look, got my setup, got everything going. Dolphins won the toss. They say, we want the damn ball, right? Soon as I did this, boom, boom. Are you bleeping kidding me?
When we said we wanted the ball, we meant we're going to just yak it up midfield so you guys can have it right there. No worries, guys.
And then the defense held them to 3, which I was like, okay.
What happened that third quarter, Leroy?
No, that's the
number one. It's my problem with this team.
Can I just tell you?
They go through ups and downs. Like, you go up 17-0. However, you go up 17-0 against Carolina, you were up 17-0. Then they came back. Then on 5 possessions in a row, like in the second half, it was 3 and out. And I'm like, why in the second half? They don't. This is the problem with the coach. He doesn't adjust. They make adjustments on them. He doesn't make adjustments. And then they got to go in the fourth quarter, make a great comeback. But it's still not going to be enough sometimes.
Here's what I would say about, and I've said this for a while, and Tobin can attest to this. You can't be a team that if they stop what you originally do, you're done. Right? And what happens is when I come out in the second half, you not only look at the things you didn't have success at, you look at the things that you took advantage of on defense and think, what are they possibly going to adjust to stop this? Because they're not going to just keep letting us do this. And all of your play designs have to have a complementary adjustment with it. So if you ran 5 slants and they're playing that cover 2, and if you beat the corner inside, you got open season, right? Because they're so deep. Then if they line up in cover 2 and then bolt to cover 3 and drop a linebacker out and tell the linebacker to get in the way of you got to have something off of that. You got to, okay, let's run a slant and go. Or let's take 2 steps in and go straight down the field. And we're going to go over the top, right? You have to have some adjustment with the idea of, I know they're not going to let me do this all game.
Right. And
Now,
it
there's
felt like
one aspect of football that you can do the same thing over and over again. And that's running the football. If you don't run for 200 yards against a team and you see another team run for 200 and you see what area of the field they running from 200, you're going to have guys running all over the place, but guess where the ball going to go? Right in that soft spot.
Physically though, like the thing with the Dolphins is their running is almost Achane making magic of stuff.
But to be fair, they're trying to play to the strengths of Achane. And what I would say is this: for a small guy, he does run pretty physical inside. He just don't have nothing to pack with it, so it doesn't look like it, right?
He also doesn't have anybody clearing it out for him up in the middle either.
Well, you don't want, right? That too. So let me ask you: yes, you don't want to keep running it outside, and you want to run something inside. Where you gonna run it? You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's that. You can't do something that you don't think your team can accomplish. But I'm just looking at from the passing aspect of it, from the running aspect of it. There's you just and I don't know this to be true, but I'm just saying, Vlad, when things go south in the third quarter, is because teams have come in. They've got a list of all that you've done that was successful, and they defend that. Now, a good offensive team will always stay one step ahead of that.
And he's not doing that this year.
He's been doing that the last 2
seasons.
So by the time they make some adjustments, half of the quarter or a third of the quarter is gone because you think that they pros too. Well, they're going to let you keep doing the same thing. They just say, you know what? They're going to halftime and say, you could beat us with anything else. You ain't going to beat us with what you beat us with in the first half.
But that's what happened in the third quarter is like he went to the Achane well so many times. He's having Achane go out, run routes, Achane on the sweep. And it's like they figured it out.
And it's the same thing that happened in Buffalo when they were throwing in the fourth quarter to Jalen Waddle. That's why the linebacker knew, you're going to Waddle right here.
Right. And that's why the fourth quarter, like the go-ahead drive was a great drive. Like you're mixing Julian Hill in there. You're throwing some different things, some different wrinkles. But it's just like, why does it just took like how many punches in the face did it
You want me to tell you why?
Up?
Part of the reason is, and I hate to do this, but you almost tie your quarterback hands for whatever reason when you throw those little quick bubble screens, right? Because if you run 3 of those in a series and then it becomes 3rd and 8, now you want him to play quarterback because those little bubble screens is not playing quarterback. Hell, I just saw Detroit Lions run a bubble screen and they switched the quarterback and the damn running back. Anybody could do it. So if you got to give your quarterback a chance. Now, some would say he's not talented enough to give that chance. But I would say to you that I've seen him make some throws and some decisions that are not just based on reading a defense.
How
But
scary.
he doesn't do it consistently. If he throws 30 passes, it seems like 10 of those passes are just the bubble screens or the quick flips or whatever. So now you ask him to play quarterback for 20 plays.
Were you
And a
nervous?
lot of those times it's third and long.
Were you nervous on the Waddle toss across to Achane?
Yes.
I was like, oh, Jim.
Red Romo.
So I get it. And sometimes when you watch them play offense, it just looks like structurally it looks so good, right? But then it's almost like, hey, let's run those same 5 plays again.
Hey, can I ask you a question? As a
Mm.
football player, is there anything more exhausting than Jalen Waddle reversing the entire field to lose lose 4 yards? Because he was gonna gain yards, then he goes, watch this, and then nothing happened. He just ran all the way and no gain. Like, that has to be the most exhausting thing. Is like, I'm gonna run all of here and nothing happened. There was no payoff.
When I see a player do that, you know what I start thinking? Thank God my route is over here. Because you ain't getting my big ass tired too. Like, you better score. I say I'll take an angle and maybe pick somebody off at the end. But I ain't gonna be your lead blocker on the other side of the field.
Waddle had himself a day. Dude, his day was a roller coaster.
Oh no, definite roller coaster.
Crazy, dude.
And another overthrow. 2 overthrows to Waddle. And I'm like, really? Not even Khalil Ware would be able to get some of these throws.
Yeah. He a couple of his in routes, Tua was a little high, which is not like him, and it's just bad throws, right? But here's what happens, Vlad. I think if you look at his numbers, just the numbers, was it 20?
You want his final numbers from yesterday?
Just the completions versus attempts.
Oh, he was yesterday 21 to 32.
21 to 32. So it's like 60%.
Over 60.
Over 60.
Don't look at that.
But what you have to do is that you kind of have to do this when you get those numbers from Tua. Look at the freebies, and then look at the passes that guy was open and you overthrew him.
Yeah.
Right? To give it its proper context.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, while everybody else just looks at the numbers, I know for a fact there were 2 square ends. He threw it over. And when you usually miss on that square end, that's a pick. I'm gonna just tell you that's when those balls went high. I'm like, oh no.
Well, when they had Ingold out there.
Oh, the Derwin James.
Derwin James was this close to picking him off. The first person I thought of was Leroy.
I thought about you first.
Oh man,
you hate that play.
No. Well, not as much as Leroy.
No, but then I remember Leroy. By the way, Leroy,
the Ingold plays.
Leroy, you my boy, you my guy. Anthony Weaver's so stressed, he's turning into you right now. His beard is as gray as I've ever seen. I'm like, yo, is that Leroy?
Listen, I'm gonna tell you like this: coaching on a losing team
stresses you out,
and you coaching the side of the ball that's the worst in the league, right? It look like when you look at the picture, all the presidents after they've been president for like 3 months,
Weaver's
right?
Like president,
yeah,
just looking
old because they've been up all night. Man, I'm telling you it. But here's the problem. And for all the things that I've said about Mike McDaniel, I still believe that. I still believe that an offensive guru needs to be one step ahead and not reacting, right? I 100% believe that. That's what an offensive guru does. When you watch good offensive football, what is the first thing they say? Oh, they're always one step ahead of the defense. Like, when you defend something, we ain't doing that no more. Kind of like that, right? But on the other side of the ball, there ain't nobody you could put at coach. Nobody. Right? I mean, Weaves is the guy that's getting some heat.
They threw 13 consecutive passes when they could have ran the ball. That's how bad your defense is.
They were just doing whatever you
knew your
want.
secondary was bad.
But
So
a
they
lot
were
of
like,
Vlad, a
"You know
lot
what?
of that, a
I'm
lot
gonna
of
throw
that.
13
Here,
passes in a
I'm
row."
gonna tell you something about that offense. A lot of it is run past check. So they just basically going on looks. It ended up being 13 passes in a row, but let's just say it wasn't probably designed that way. And keep in mind, here's why you have a game plan like that. You ready? You play a team that just gave up 200 plus yards rushing to one guy, the backup.